right, it's 6:01. We'll call the meeting to order. Turn it over to you, Steve, for roll call.
Chairman Canfield,
Here.
Beecham,
Here.
Chauvin, here. Cadwalder,
Here.
and Salzwedel.
Here.
Present.
All right, that brings them to item 2, approval of the agenda.
I have 2 additions. I'd like to add a 4A biodigester update right below public comment. And I'd like to add a 3rd action item, a 5C material purchase for the first project of our 5-year plan. That's all I have.
With those changes, I would make a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll support.
We have a motion and support. If there's no further discussion, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Brings us to item 3, approval of the minutes of the July 13th regular board meeting.
We have one spelling correction. The very last page under adjournment, we have to add a Z in Jim's last name.
With that, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the July 13, 2006 regular meeting.
I'll support.
We have a motion and support. There's no further discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Brings us to item 4, public comment for items not on the agenda. Keeping in mind we are discussing the biodigester as soon as public comments are closed. No comments other than the biodigester, it looks like. All right, that brings us then with no public comment on other items to items 4A, which is an update on the biodigester.
I had asked Greg Northrup to attend the meeting, and I talked with him earlier today. He was at the council meeting Monday as well, and Greg, if you could just give us an update.
Yeah, where would you like me to go?
You want to stand up here and face the audience so they can hear you, I think would be helpful.
Try to have my back to everybody. So I'm here tonight to let you know what's going on with odor issues at the digester, which I continue to agree are unacceptable. I went to the city council meeting on Monday night. I reviewed our current action plans with them. I have a copy of what was distributed to the council on Monday night if you'd like to get a copy of that. It's also been distributed to, I think, those people that are on the email distribution list for communication updates as to what's happening. There's what we think one major issue that remains with the odor that's being caused by leaks from the largest tank, and if you've been to our facility, it's called the reflow tank. There's 2 vents at the top of that tank that we've been up to, and we've obviously detected odor coming out of those vents. We've been in contact with the German manufacturer of the tank and the membrane manufacturer, and originally I was hoping they would be here Friday. They're coming Saturday to do an detailed inspection of the tank and the membrane system. We did a test as they had requested us to do, basically to determine the parts per million of methane that might have been coming out of the vent. The threshold that they had set was 500 parts per million. We tested it out at 600 to 700 parts per million, so it met their threshold requirement that there's obviously an issue that needs to be looked at. Further, as we pursued with them even more detailed questions, there's also something called the excess low pressure safeguard, which is another venting pressure system that keeps the system in performance as it relates to making sure there's no explosions, because obviously we have methane gas and it potentially is an explosive material. And I don't want to do anything, obviously, to jeopardize public safety. The odor issue is of great concern. We need to deal with it, but we also need to deal with it in a way that making sure that we're recognizing that there's a gas there that could be a potential problem. If you don't deal with it properly, we're going to have bigger problems than what we have today. And so I'm being very cautious. I apologize for the delays, but cautious in the sense of getting the manufacturer here to fix the problem. So they're coming Saturday. We have a full team of people to support them. If it goes into Sunday, we'll be working Sunday to finish up fixes in the investigation of what we're doing.
Is it, can I interrupt?
Sure, yeah.
So is this, when you say fixes, so when you're saying the team, is it just to inspect and determine what's wrong? Or are they gonna actually try to, if they find a leak, trying to patch it, trying to?
There'll be inspection and patching at the same time. The intent is to investigate what's going on. I've told the Germans, we're at the point where I don't have the expertise that you do to determine where this odor is coming from. We've done all of the sources that we think we know are creating odor. We've dealt with those. And when we still didn't have it addressed and we're still getting complaints, legitimately so, it caused us to do additional investigation on our own, which is how we got into looking at the vents at the top of the tank and determining that that was a problem. And at that point I said to the manufacturer, you have to be here. This is your system. This is where you have the expertise that we don't have, and I got a problem I got to solve right now. So it's to come and fix the problems. That's the intent, and my commitment is to make sure they stay here until it's fixed. And that's our intent. We have a full team of people to support the technician as it relates to these systems. And I don't want to speculate more about what I think the problem may or may be. It's not my expertise. That's why we're going to get the experts here to do that.
And I'll just, and I'm sure you've been notified or whatever, but this week, in my opinion, is the worst it's been. I mean,
Yes. Our home smell.
yes.
Inside.
So-
Yes.
Can't sleep at that.
Anyway, I'm assuming that I'm saying that now just to let you know that, again, so.
I've said all of the, Steve and I have been cooperating and coordinating in terms of sharing information. I've responded individually to people if it's been helpful or to let people know what's going on. All I can do is tell you what action we're taking, you know.
Why did we wait so long for the Germans to come out?
I had to go through,
You went there so many, we could afford to send 5 people there. Why did we wait so long to send them here? One technician, what took so long?
We're going through a series of steps to investigate what we thought were the odor issues. When we got to the point where we're still having odor that we can't solve, then it was time to bring the technician in. That's what we're doing.
This is the first time you've checked your tanks for leaks in your ventilation system on that reflow tank?
As far as we know, the tank doesn't have leaks, okay?
Except you did test it and you have between 600 and 700 parts per
We
million.
tested it last week
And that's the first time you've tested that tank
Right.
since installation?
because we have no other indication that we've had any leaks in the system.
With a flammable gas that you just admitted was a safety concern.
And as I said to you, we have no other indications that we had any leaks in the system. Yes?
This is a noxious problem for the neighborhood. Why are we not shutting this down until we have a better idea how to run this facility? You clearly just said you're not the expert. You don't know how to run this facility in the way that we need to run. It shouldn't run until you have this figured out. You're experimenting on the community. We're tired of it. It's so bad it's affecting lives. I'm sick of it. I can't live with that. I suggest we all get up and go walk to my driveway, which is 2.5 blocks away, and have this meeting right there and try to be compassionate right there and respond to the questions in that environment. It's a very short walk.
I've been around the community. I know what the odors are, okay?
Oh, yeah.
Try sleeping in
Live
it.
there. You live there. Eat in it.
And
It
I-
gets shut down. There are no good answers until it stops running.
So in answer to your question, if I could finish and answer your question, there's 700,000 gallons of material in the reflow tank, okay? If
We
I
don't
shut-
care.
if
We
I
know
shut-
what our lives are being affected by, and we don't care about that tank. It
Exactly.
shouldn't be running.
I'm only telling you that there's material in that tank that would require us to empty the whole tank. We just can't shut it down.
Do it. Do it.
And I can fix it faster than I can empty that tank.
No, we don't have any faith that what you're doing is going to have any effect on it at all anyway. You could drag this on for months and months and years if you wanted to with the exact same kind of interaction with the community, and it could keep getting worse and worse and worse. It can't get much worse. This is really bad.
And I don't disagree that it's been going on too long, but that's why we're having people come in to fix it.
You don't
It's all
live
very
there.
shallow.
You don't have headaches every day. They don't
Exactly.
have it coming into your house, not just on the outside. You don't live there, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm sick of this. Shut that stupid thing down and save some of our health.
So there's
You don't have to
litigation,
live with it.
there's litigation against the company that designed it, correct?
There's litigation against the company that
About the
constructed
company
it.
who's continuing to run it.
There's no litigation
Well, there
against them.
should be. That's how bad it is.
I told you what we're gonna do, is I'm convinced that it will get us to where we need to be and it'll fix this problem.
We're not.
And I understand that you're not convinced, and you won't be convinced until it's fixed. I fully understand that.
It's gone on too long.
Too many promises.
So that's the action we're taking as it relates to the reflow tank itself. As I told the city council on Monday, we're also finalizing bids to build an enclosure over the top of the wastewater
You guys don't
treatment
feel
system.
that it's safe?
No.
No, we don't feel it's safe either because we don't trust what you're saying.
Methane gas, now we gotta worry if it's gonna blow up.
I only said we have to be careful about how we work on the system.
You just said.
We're using that as an excuse not to fix the problem.
You
Well,
just said you're looking for
Pardon
No,
safety.
no.
This has gone on, and the neighbors and the community have been very patient about this. We have the experts coming here on Saturday. This is 3 days away. I think we have to let the experts get here. Are they gonna get inside the tank?
If they need to. They will actually, if they need to take off the top membrane, there's two membranes in the system. One is a weather membrane, and the other one is the inner membrane. If they need to, they will start to go around the tank and specifically look for leaks.
Do they have to unwind that the same way they assembled it?
No, just the membrane itself. There's a flexible membrane on the top, and that's where if there's leaks, that's where it's coming from. That's my sense.
The board and the city council are very concerned about this. Two of the council members have family members, go to school there. My daughter and her family live right in the neighborhood with you guys. My 3 granddaughters that are less than 4 years old. We're all very concerned about this. It's an investment and they have to fix it. It won't go on for months and years, but I think we got to give them a couple days to get this.
The elementary school just 200 yards away. They start
Yep.
school here in what, 2-3 weeks?
No, it's a bigger problem for the neighborhood immediately than the school in a month or 3 weeks, but we'll have the experts here on Saturday. I think
I'll
we have
let you
to
know,
let them.
as soon as I get feedback on what we're doing, we'll obviously communicate that back to you so you know exactly what's happening.
Now, will they, when they determine the problem, they will stay to fix it though? They're not going
Right.
to leave town and come back?
No, my commitment is to make sure that they stay and they fix the problem.
So if the membrane
Does
doesn't
anyone
solve it, what's the
remember
next
how
step?
many promises we've had and not one of them have been kept?
We have taken every action that I told you I would take
That
up to
doesn't
this
make any
point.
difference. The promises you made have never been kept.
Before it even went.
He
I'm still-
promised to take action and he did. It didn't solve the problem, but they have been trying.
Well,
It shouldn't be running.
that makes a lot of good sense when you don't live there.
Greg, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
How much power does the committee of Lowell&P have as whether this facility continues to run or not? Is it in your hands or out of your hands?
We don't operate the biodigester.
Right, I know
LE
that.
does. They have a contract with us, and we are reviewing that contract tonight in a closed session meeting with the city council and the Light and Power Board after this meeting. We take this very seriously. We're as concerned as you are. We are all neighbors and residents of the community. Not too many of the board members or council members live immediately there, but we are very concerned. Yes.
When we were at the last meeting, they discussed how in Germany they use beets and corn and things like that. Why can't we go to that versus, because they're having good effects using that. We're using gunk and
Right.
junk and sludge.
Part of this was economic development to help Lighthouse eliminate food waste that they had as part of the feedstock. So this was an idea that was supposed to work. So far, it's not working, but
Is that
the
an
odor is the
option?
problem.
Is that an option? If you find that you can't fix this problem? Would you consider going to that?
If you think about organic waste in this large tank, okay, it doesn't matter if it's fats, oils, and greases, or if it's other types of materials, okay? It's organic material, it all breaks down. If you go to a landfill, landfills have organic materials in there, and if you've ever seen them, they have wells into the landfill to pump out methane gas that's being created by all of the organic materials.
That landfill is not next to my house.
And you're saying a landfill that's got a bunch of daisies buried in it smells as bad as a landfill full of garbage?
I was trying to answer her question about the changing of the feedstock.
It's not true.
All I'm telling you is that if you have materials that degrade and break down, whether it's manure or other types of materials, they all create odor at some point.
Let's just be honest about it. You can't change the feedstock and produce the energy you need in order to produce what you have contracted with Lowell and Power for your generator. As a renewable source of energy, you can't burn what they're burning in Germany, this beet mix or corn or whatever else you want to do for silage. You're not going to get the BTUs, you're not going to get the methane gas to get the BTUs to run your engine at the levels you need. So you have to burn the fog. You have to digest the fog and get the methane for
But
it.
you're still burning fog,
Yes,
so you haven't followed through with the things that you said.
I have, because the fog is contained. If the system does what it's supposed to do, all of this is contained in the system.
That was discussed in the last meeting.
No, what was discussed in the last meeting was to look at whether or not we would continue to take fog or not. If you could give me the leak coming out of the reflow tank will be there whether it's fog, whether it's beer, whether it's cow manure, whether it's silage. If it's leaking odor, it doesn't matter what kind of material's inside that tank. And so what we need to do is fix the tank and prevent the
Shut it down and
odor.
won't
I don't
bother
believe
you.
you.
Well, shutting it down won't help until the tank is emptied out. I mean, we're
Don't
4
tell
days
me
away.
that.
We may have to go there. And we're,
Don't tell me that, empty it. You flush your toilet, flush that thing out.
Lowell Light and Power in the city are not the operators, Lead is. And we have a contract with them that we are reviewing tonight to see what our abilities are to enforce this. But we are very concerned. We'd rather get no electricity than have an odor in the neighborhood. And that's where we'll go.
Us too. How much electricity is this actually generating? What do we got, an 800 kW generator in there?
Right,
So we're doing, 80 homes tops?
800,
Seriously? 1 kilowatt a home?
seriously.
No. Master electrician, not doing 1 kilowatt a home. Not on a regular basis. Not under demand during the day.
For the average, in the average usage, we should be able to serve 700 to 800 homes.
That's not accurate.
There's industry standards. If you'd like, I'm happy to share you with you data from the industry.
How much are you actually producing
If you're-
with the thing right now?
We've been running in the 600 range, so.
But the odor is by far our largest concern, not the output of electricity.
Understand that.
I'm
But
more
the
concerned
odor
about
is
the odor
all
issue
wrong.
than I am about the output.
But this week, there's not a lot we can do. The experts will be here on Saturday. I know it's been much, much worse this week. It's awful, there's no doubt about it.
I gotta pay my property taxes this week.
Are they still hauling sewage in? Are people bringing it in out of Lowell as well?
Yes.
Sewage,
that
they're
what-
not
we're
bringing in
not-
sewage.
But animal waste.
Well, we bring in
Manure.
manure. We bring in
Products,
manure.
correct.
We bring in fats, oils, and greases, we bring expired dairy product, and we bring beer.
So they are
Wrapping it
hauling
down at all.
stuff, they're hauling stuff out from other places to Lowell, is what they're doing.
I don't know what you mean by hauling it out.
They're hauling waste to this
They
place.
a person goes to a restaurant, they pick up fats, oils, and grease from a grease trap.
Okay,
And that's collected by a company that does that. And that company then brings that waste stream to us,
to Lowell.
to our facility.
So I had a question earlier was so if we fix the membrane or if there's an issue there that gets resolved and that doesn't resolve the odor, what's the next step?
That's why the experts are coming. The odor's coming from the tank
That's the only place it can be coming from?
at this point.
We had a bucket truck up there and determined that's where it was.
There's,
Hey, if you said you're not running, why do you say we? That doesn't make sense to me.
This is helpful
You say we
to,
are not running it, and then you tell us what we are doing, does not compute in my book. And it doesn't in yours either. I know you better than that.
At what point are they gonna
We're
stop
part of
running
this,
leaks?
we're part of this, but we are not the owners. We feel responsibility for this. That's why we sent people to Germany to make sure it was gonna be good.
Simplest thing.
Well, we have a contract that it's not that easy, but we're reviewing it.
Well, review it tonight, shut it down until it's fixed.
At what point does this be considered a health issue?
No.
Now,
Yeah.
He said last night.
There you go. There you go.
we've had,
outside and sit on my porch.
Yeah.
And sit inside last
Animal,
night.
animal fat stinks worse than human sewage.
so I've had the facility air quality tested by
Oh,
the Advanced Environmental Services out of Grand Rapids, Michigan, because I have the same concerns to make sure that air quality where the employees are working there is safe and not hazardous.
Do you live in Lowell?
I don't live in it.
good for you.
Okay. Let's haul my camper there. We'll have you right there by it. I went to St. Mary's and got my communion on Sunday and puked it up. It stunk so bad.
It's unacceptable, okay? I agree.
What do you do when it's that bad and unacceptable?
Shut it down.
What I'm doing is fixing it. That's what I'm doing.
No, you're not.
Here we go, Tom.
You can't fix it. You don't know.
You're investigating, you're not fixing.
We're bringing the experts in to fix it. That's all I can say.
Your lab rats are here.
Who are the experts?
The manufacturer of the system.
And that's in Germany?
Right.
How did they do it?
The same one told you that it would run without any motor.
No, that was him that made the promise of that. That's well documented.
There should, if the system works the way it should, there should be no odor.
Is somebody making profit right now off of this?
This is like if your car breaks down because something didn't function properly, and you go get it fixed, okay?
My car
In
is
this
not
case-
causing quality of life issues for people.
Yeah.
In this
Bad
case,
analogy.
the tank's not working the way it should have, and we're having people fix it.
Same thing.
Is there no way to reduce the pressure off of that tank on the reflow to keep the methane from leaking out of a possibly torn membrane? Or is that again too much of a cost to shut down the generator?
It has nothing to do with cost, it has to do with the safety and the safe operation of the tank.
Then why ain't it shut down right now?
Because that tank, there's pressure in there as the gas is being created, and we maintain a level of pressure so that the cap stays intact the way it's supposed to.
Could we just go into a burn-off where you've got your flame and reduce the pressure by just burning methane off instead of producing electricity until they get here?
We do flare it off now,
Periodically.
but we do flare it off.
Right.
And
Could we let it burn constantly to reduce the pressure in the
it
tank?
would only burn as long as there was gas in there, and at the point that there wasn't, there still would be material in the tank that's still causing odor, okay?
Right, but the pressure.
It's not- Here's another misconception I think that you have. The methane is not causing the odor.
Right. So,
Methane gas has no odor.
It's the breakdown of the animal fat.
it's the
The
soup,
animal, it's the organic waste that's in the tank that's causing the odor.
but that's under pressure also, along with the
It's
methane.
in the same tank, okay? So,
If
as
the
it,
pressure was reduced, it might reduce the odor.
but if you do reduce the pressure, then I have concerns about what happens to the membrane. That's why we're gonna have the Germans, the experts, look at it.
Doesn't seem very safe.
You can't, so you're not gonna shut it
It's been
down?
very safe. There's been no incidents, to my knowledge, of these systems having any kind of problem,
But you're not
as it
the
relates to any kind of safety issues.
You got
As
one.
of right now. How many of these pieces of equipment are out there right now and functioning? What's the longest one that they know that's been in operation correctly?
There's thousands in Germany of these
In
systems.
the U.S. operating in this
Yeah.
fashion,
How about in a town like this?
I can't quote you a number.
Can you stop processing the material that causes the fog, the smell?
They already said we're in here.
I don't understand.
So somebody's making profit right now off of this.
I can tell you-
Somebody's making money and we're dealing with the smell.
I can tell you nobody's making money at this point.
Well, at this point.
Nobody's making money.
Any other comments? Board comments?
They gonna stay till it's fixed?
Yes.
Yeah, I asked that question already. Got a
On
yes.
Sunday, I walk out my driveway and it's still like that. They're still there. On Monday, they're gonna still be there.
if that's what's required.
How many gallons of waste is being hauled in on a week to that spot?
Depends what types of waste are coming in. Typically, it comes in 6,000-gallon tankers.
And that's the ones that we see running down Eldon Nash.
You see
That's where
like
they're going.
plumbers, which is one of the haulers.
And they're still
6,000.
bringing waste there, even though it's not working correctly.
They're bringing waste because we're still treating the waste.
So if your car was broke, you just keep driving it broke.
So
Go
how
back
much
to your
less
car
waste
analogy.
since the last meeting are you now burning?
Say what?
How much less waste since the last time are you now burning?
Did you ramp it down like we had talked about in the last?
You act like it didn't occur, but that conversation did.
No, we've been ramming down while we're trying to solve the odor problem. if that's
How
your
much, what
question.
percentage?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't tell you. We're basically trying to run in a lean state so that we
They're
can deal
getting
with
paid by
the
the
issue.
gallon of that waste you bring in here to our town, by the gallon.
I can't change the 700,000 gallons that are already in that
You
tank.
can pump it out.
You
I
put it in
guarantee you,
there?
we'll find someone that'll come here, pump that out, and empty it down and shut it down until you figure it out. Then you can
I'm
start
gonna
running.
fix it on Saturday and
You don't
Sunday,
fix
and I
it
want it
full.
to pump it
How about you
out.
want to see us shut down?
I
Let's
know,
go.
You don't
I
fix a
know there's
leaky
some more
gas
people
tank with it full.
a lot of other people have been complaining.
Board comment?
I understand, again, to have a company come in and pump it out. I'm not sure that you could find one that would be here tomorrow to pump it out. And they're gonna be here Friday or Saturday? Saturday. I'd like to know, I'd like to hear what they have to say and what they find.
As they do that, I will communicate that information back to Steve.
And at the same time, I would like to see LEED be investigating or going in two directions of finding somebody or to be lining somebody up or getting quotes or whatever to pump it out. If it doesn't, if what they say, depending on what they say.
I guarantee you can find somebody to pump that thing out within a couple days, if not overnight. Guaranteed. You just don't want to put up the cost. Guaranteed. Somebody will come here, they will pump it out. There's somebody that can do it and can do it that fast.
And we will fix it.
And they'll charge you per gallon to haul it out. That's where the hitch is with you guys.
Where are we at on enclosing the wastewater that's open there from the White House?
I have the quotes that are coming through, and we're going to end up enclosing the whole structure.
But there's no, but you just said that the only smell that you have, the odor issue, is just the refill tank. Well, we still have the odor issue of the tank.
No, because we've addressed the odor issue at the tank as it currently stands. The odor that you're getting, we believe the odor that you're experiencing now is coming from the reflow tank.
From the leak, but you are enclosing the other wastewater plant.
How can you do, so you have an open container where the water can go into it?
We have a wastewater treatment, pre-treatment plant, where we treat the liquid waste that we've received from Lighthouse, and we're putting odor neutralizer on that system, and I think that is working.
But that will be enclosed within a couple weeks?
Probably more like 6 weeks, because it takes 6 weeks to order the materials. And I gotta have an approved building permit by Cascade Township with electronic drawings to support the structure that we're putting on.
Right, and the city has helped to fast track that permit when it is ready for submittal.
Right.
But the open tank isn't the source of the odor that's in the neighborhood. That's the leak in the reflow tank. With these complaints, I've got up and walked around, and it's not good up there on that open, but it's not that foul, rancid smell that is.
Yeah.
Any smell is bad.
You
Oh,
don't
it is.
say salad dressing waste, throw it in an open pit, or wastewater treatment in the middle of the city, expect it not to smell. Anybody that's gonna sit here, you know better than that. You're not gonna sit here and tell me that there's no smell from wastewater treatment in an open tank with a bubbler on it.
And that's
All I
why.
do is get oxygen in it, get it, bugs working in it, and that causes the smell to come out of that tank.
and it's gonna be enclosed. So that will solve that.
6 weeks.
We're currently neutralizing that with odor foggers.
That's not the odor that's causing the problem now, though.
It's a odor.
It is.
Has anybody noticed the odor has changed in the last 3-4 days? Yeah, well, it's a different smell.
Right.
It's kind of a burnt smell. Anybody notice that?
Smells like skunk, but
It's got more of a burnt smell. What we were smelling a month ago was that sickly sweet garbage smell. Anybody notice this? It's a new problem that they're trying to deal with.
But the other thing of it is, when this project started, we were almost guaranteed there would be no smell. And this has smelled since the day it started.
I don't care what kind of smell.
It doesn't matter what kind it is, what smell it is, we didn't sign up to have to live next to this. And that was one of my questions. I voted to let this go in, but with your assurance, the Light and Power Board's assurance that it would not smell, and it's smelled ever since then, and we've been really patient, all of us. But this is way past patience. Because my wife can't smell a thing, and she's opened the windows up in our house because it's nice out. It's terrible in my house right now. But the thing of it is, you said it wouldn't smell at all, and it's smelled since last year. You covered up the complaints because you didn't address them. You knew it smelled. Everybody's complained about it, and it's time, I think, just to shut it down. And when you fix it, you can start it back up. But if it smells, then it should just be shut down permanently.
Agreed.
Are you guys getting fined per day right now until this gets corrected?
We've been receiving ordinance violations.
What's them fines?
$300.
A day? Is it, and that's the limit, is $300 a day is the most you can get? It should be
As
raised
far
up,
as I know,
it should be raised up to about $3,500 until it's fixed.
You're not gonna bring our health back.
considering most of the.
Kids are about ready to go in school too.
It's not affecting us.
It is a very serious problem, and the Light and Power Board and the City Council recognizes that. That's why we're having a closed session meeting. The city attorney that reviewed the contract is here. We're looking to see what we can do.
Is it closed?
It is a closed session meeting. Yes.
If there's a health issue, the contract should be void. It should be void.
We're reviewing the
Shouldn't have to
contract
get no-
tonight,
if
so
there's a
that's
health
all
issue,
we'll say
It's a
about
health
that.
emergency. You know better than that. You know better than that. It's a health emergency.
All right, well, I think we've heard the comments from everyone. Thank you for coming tonight. We are very concerned also.
And as I have said before, I'm concerned, and we will fix this problem.
Is the next meeting be 30 days again, because you can't do this for 30 more days?
Hopefully I'll have good news for you on
Like maybe
Saturday.
next Wednesday,
We don't pay.
tell you whether or not that worked.
If we don't pay our
We can keep
Lowell
dragging
power,
this on.
they'll fix it quick. Don't pay your light bills.
We have their email, right? So
What's that?
We have their email.
Yeah.
The people signed up, so we can always solicit.
Yeah, we will
Next week
update you
feedback
through the email that you're all signed up for. And I know there will be board members there this weekend to see what's going on.
We need to meet again. That's not good enough.
Yeah.
I can't do it for 30 more days.
I have a question. I know you guys are all talking, I mean, I live on the other side of the river, so I don't have to deal with the smells, but I come here, I do. Do you guys got any documentation on what health issues, other than that part of you, have you guys seen your doctors? Have you seen, what is causing
You
this?
gotta be kidding
What-
me.
No, seriously, I know, I'm just asking from a citizen. Is it a blood level contact? What is poisoning you guys? No, I want
That's a
to.
great question.
I wanna know.
You just lost the community with that one.
How did I'm asking it from, not from this guy, I'm asking it from a standpoint. If I lived there, I'd go see my doc, I'd want to know, what's my blood level thing? What's causing this? And then I would come after this guy and says, okay,
Probably be quiet
now it's
right
time.
now. You probably, I mean, you're just infuriating people. Like that's
you involving
that's
yourself
a
in
pretty
this?
bad comment to make at this point. Is
You
to
guys-
question people.
You guys listen.
I'm
He's
not
trying-
working for you.
You guys listen.
That was the most inflaming thing he could have said.
Yeah.
right there.
He's trying to empathize. Okay.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It didn't come across that's right, but he's trying
Well,
to
I'm sorry,
emphasize to you
that's it,
guys.
but
He's
that's-
on your side, okay?
Yes,
So let
I
him-
am, just
If
seriously.
you were on our side, it'd be shut down. You would go down there and shut it down right now.
Well, this is my second board meeting, so I'm new to
He's
the
brand new
low
on
line
the board.
power. But the point of it is when I make a decision tonight, and these are serious health effects that's happening to your bodies and your children, I'd like to know what they were from a standpoint. If my son was over there, I could, what's that?
Over on my porch and you'll find out how it feels and the headaches and.
Okay, that's what I'm asking,
That's what's happening
okay?
inside.
I don't know what those symptoms are.
We'll put a dead animal in.
You know what?
Why don't you drive around with a dead animal in your trunk until it's fixed? And then
All right.
you tell
All right.
me.
Thank
you can-
you
I'm
for
sorry
your
that I offended you, but it
comments.
wasn't my.
I'm sorry that we took a little turn for the worse here. It wasn't, the board is very
That was
concerned.
very offensive.
I apologize, it
Put
wasn't
the
my
dead
intent.
animal in your trunk and then come talk to
All
us.
right. Okay, we're gonna close. We will have board members this weekend, we will be there to see what's going on. And we will update you with the emails. All right. That brings us to action items, and you guys don't want to sit here probably for the next hour of boring stuff, but,
It smells better here.
okay. You can stay as long as you like. Action items.
I warned her.
Just wait a second.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. No vote for you.
Hard to be constructive when they don't want to be constructive. I mean, I can empathize that they're frustrated, but
Exactly. Apologize,
and
it
even then, it's
wasn't
like-
my intent, but
No,
I
I'm-
apologize to that part of it.
Yeah.
wasn't your intent.
I can see where you were going with that. It made sense. It was,
You know.
they,
It's a measurement of health.
Exactly.
They just-
Yeah, tell them.
That would be great.
I'll vote to shut it down tonight if that was the case, but tell them what's happening to you.
Thank you,
kids.
Mr. Kimball, for coming, though.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
All right, on to action items. The first of which is a MERS 2017 retiree cost of living, or COLA. As I mentioned in the memo, for the last number of years, at least since I've been here, the board has approved to give light and power retirees a cost of living adjustment. And for the last 3 years, the board, last 3 or 4, we've kind of try to match that cost of living adjustment with the expected increase of Social Security for the next year. I laid out a chart that shows the Lowell Light and Power COLA amount for the last 6 years, as well as comparing that to Social Security. Last year, Social Security was expected to be 0% for this year, 2016, and it was indeed 0%. However, the Light and Power Board made a decision to award retirees with a 1% cost of living adjustment. This coming year, for 2017, the Social Security Department estimates a 0.2% cost of living adjustment for retirees, and it's really the board's decision of how they would like to proceed, if they'd like to match Social Security with a 0.2% increase, if they'd like to go with a 0%, or if they'd like to do a number greater than 0.2%. Last year's 1% increase cost Lowell Light and Power just over $23,000. There is money in the budget. I believe I budgeted $35,000 or so for a cost of living increase. But this is the historical information, and it's really the board's decision. So I'll turn it over to the board for discussion.
I apologize. And can we take a 5-minute break? I mean, my mind is, I didn't hear this, I apologize, I didn't hear a word you said because I'm still thinking about what just went on. And I just need to take a big breath and just get my head back into the game.
Yeah, let's take a
Take a
breather.
5-minute
Unwind.
intermission and
There's sandwiches up there.
Thank you, Perry.
That's actually not a bad idea, because I was kind of doing the same thing.